All I know is I will be turning right when I get on the plane, unlike you, Joe. Always turn left.
I don't know about that. Back in the day, maybe.
Right, let's talk about the competition where it's really at. Pro de Deux is getting spicy at the top and at the bottom and everywhere, frankly. It is as competitive a league as there is in rugby. And one man trying to chart his way through it is our very own Joe Worsley, sat there at the Stade. Hold on.
Yeah.
Amadi Domenech?
Yes. Pronounced perfectly.
Yes. Perfect. It is
Nailed
such
it.
a lovely looking stadium, Joe.
It is a proper rugby stadium. I tell you, at Agen last Friday, that's a lovely stadium too. Real rugby kind of heartland, good credit, good old school players, produces loads of guys, lovely stadium. Yeah, it's wicked. It's a great competition, some great stadiums.
And when you're strolling around Brive in your stash, going for a morning croissant, are the locals starting to stop you with more regularity or pipe up, or like the town must be getting pretty excited about the thought at this point of potentially being back in the top 14 again?
Yeah, I got given a free burger the other day. That shows you how well we're playing. So really starting to impact on the local population.
Did you order the burger and then they said, no, this one's on me? Or did they say, come on in and have a free burger? Because I know how much you think about food.
I was in there to buy a burger and I got given the free.
Yeah.
Bendo's burger, I can recommend it highly. Smash burgers. They're incredible. They're really good.
Sounds good. Right, we'll come back to Brive in a minute, but we've been talking the last few weeks about the amazing form of Valence Roman, and they were right down near relegation, and they've been beating some big teams, and they did another which has completely opened things up at the top with Grenoble going down away at Valence.
Yeah, I mean, the third time in a row, I think they've lost near the death. It happens during the season. Sometimes you win the tight ones, like we earlier in the season lost a lot of tight games. Now we're winning the tight ones. It's kind of the way it works. Grenoble is still a wonderful team, playing really well, and they're coming to us in 3 or 4 weeks. So it's still going to be a massive match against them, a huge game. But obviously there's a chance of catching them now, which really you want to finish first or second. Finishing top doesn't really matter, but in a way it does. Huh?
We see in French rugby generally the advantage of being at home, but that seems even more pronounced in Pro de Deux. And Brive were the only team in the last round of games to get a victory on the road. So how hard fought was that win in Agen?
Yeah, it was hard fought. We had a discipline issues, 2 of which were people doing dumb things off, not even to do with rugby. And we were playing with 13 players for 7 minutes, and then again near the end of the game, 8 minutes with 13 players. The players on the pitch did incredibly well, because normally at 13 players, you're all at sea. We managed to keep the ball for one of those blocks, and the second block we just defended so well. It was incredible, and held them out. These things don't happen often, so salute the boys for that, and also say, man, we're idiots for getting so many yellow cards, because some of them were, well, I can't swear on this.
That now means that you are Brive of 5 points behind Grenoble in first, Provence of 4 points behind Brive in third, and it is Brive against Provence in the next round of games this week.
Yeah, we're playing against a very good Provence team, a team who have a very good attack. So this is going to be an interesting weekend here. And the Friday night game here is going to be massive, because really it's going to go a huge way towards knowing who's going to be in that top 2. Listen, we got to win, they got to win. It's going to be an epic match.
They'll be bringing their full ball team, you'd imagine?
Just to remind everyone at home, if you finish in the top 2, you get a home semi-final. Everyone else plays the week before for a barrage, the right to come and play you at your home. So if we win a game here, to play here in the semi-final, the chances of winning that are 20% more, 30% more than they would be, were we to have to go to another club. We talked about home advantage. Imagine this place, when it's full on a semi-final day, apparently it's just an epic occasion. And that will make a difference. That will be that 16th man on your team. So this game is huge on Friday.
And obviously you don't want to get ahead of yourself, and because you would have to win a semi-final if you finish top 2, but first place gets home in the final? Is that how it works?
No. They're going to go. There's a neutral venue for the final. They're playing
neutral
Toulouse.
Venue, of course it is.
Toulouse's stadium for the final, and then the winner of the final goes up. The loser of the final plays number 13 in Pro de Deux, in the match, Ascension match, which is again good drama. But hopefully it won't be a problem for us. We'll see.
Yeah, so the top three are playing each other in the coming weeks, which is really, really interesting. And it does leave the door ajar for Colomiers more so. And it would have been definitely the door ajar for Soyo Angoulême had they not gone down to a defeat at the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, Soyo Angoulême have played really well this year. Very good attacking team. They've gone down a path where they're very difficult to play against because they score so many points. They won loads of away games this year because they go with this attitude of scoring points. They've actually lost quite a few home games. They're the kind of weird one in the pack. But they're really capable of beating any team on their day. So they're a team you really want to avoid. Valence have been playing really well in attack as well, a team to avoid. Colomiers can attack really well, but of the rest of that pack, it's hard to say who's going to be in that top six. Béziers falling away a little bit, but they're still got an opportunity to get into the top six as well.
I have to correct myself, actually. I said that Brive were the only team to get an away win, but Colomiers, I just rechecked the scores. I think I just saw Aurillac had scored 37 points and just assumed that was a home win. But the Colomiers, like you say, 46, 37 they won away. So yeah, it's some of these names as well. Like Colomiers have had experience in the top 14 before. There are some big clubs with big history. Biarritz are obviously down there in 10th. Big clubs with big history just waiting in the wings. It's a great competition in its own right. And can you... Sorry, I was just going to say, Joe, you just reminded us of the format of the playoffs. It might be worth just reminding how the TV money gets distributed, because it's kind of revolutionary, simple but revolutionary compared to the way it works in, say, England.
There are certain amounts you get the higher up you finish, you qualify. If you get promoted, you get... I think our budget will go up by 10 to 12 million. It's a big difference, huge difference. So that's not just TV money; it's other sponsors and other things as well chucked in there. So it's not as simple as that. But the financial, it's not the Premier League Championship quite, is it? But it's still a big step up financially if you get promoted. It's huge.
I think so. Whatever the TV deal that Canal Plus have with the French League Federation, or what LNR they're called, 2/3 of that money goes to the top 14 clubs, but 1/3 or thereabouts comes to the Pro D2 teams, which means it's almost like some Turkey in France actually vote for Christmas. Toulouse, for example, could probably make more money if they negotiated their own deal, but they're willing to send a bit down to create a bigger product.
That shows you foresight. Getting in the same room, agreeing stuff together. I think everyone realises some of these clubs have got big political power, like Brive or Agen. Historically, they've been big clubs. But the other part of it is realising that if you keep rugby popular in these places, it's going to have a knock-on effect. And they make sure, whilst the money is there's not as much as the top 14, is it? But it's still good enough to create a competition that's producing some great rugby in great stadiums with full stadiums.
It's good enough that you can get relegated and not think that your business is going to be completely shot to bits.
Yeah, exactly. So there's 3 leagues here that are fully professionals. There's one under us that's, again, professional, fully professional, 50 plus clubs. It's a lot further, a lot deeper, a lot further down the line professionally. It's a lot deeper in terms of numbers. Comparing it to England at the moment, they're very different structures and different beasts, I'd say.
Yeah. So the games this weekend: Colomiers, Agen. Colomiers wanting to keep on the pressure above them there at home. Nevers Biarritz is a bit of almost at the point of dead rubber with that game. Béziers against Stade Montois. It's written down as Stade Montois, but what's the other way that they're referred to?
Mont-de-Marsan.
Mont-de-Marsan, that's the one.
Sometimes they do this. It's strange, isn't
it? Top v bottom, Grenoble, Stade Niçois, who got a win against Biarritz last week. Oyonnax, Valence Roman. It's a less all over. It's a less compelling bunch of fixtures, you have to say, with the exception
Oyonnax
of...
is an interesting one. Oyonnax have They're in a
Yeah.
relegation fight. They were in the top 14 last year.
Oh, they are, aren't they?
Their
They've been
situation with
dragged
Joel
right
Abd,
down.
with Joel Abd as well, jumping in, jumping out. I'm not sure. It's a good club with good players. I'm not sure what's happening there. That's a strange one.
Yeah, at the bottom, you're right. You're absolutely right. Stade Niçois down. Aurillac are on 47 points, and then Mont-de-Marsan and Oyonnax on 51.
Yeah.
So
It's interesting. And I think the weeks following that, there's some very interesting fixtures, like Mont-de-Marsan playing Dax, and that could drag either one into a relegation dogfight. And yeah, there's some interesting relegation matches coming up, that's for sure.
but no question where your eyes should be this week. It's the Friday night late kickoff at that very stadium there where Joe is sat against Provence, with lots of British interest in that one. Sam Davis for Provence. Is George North playing these days? Is he?
Sam's
he
not there.
in...
He's at Grenoble.
He's at Grenoble.
Gopperth.
Sorry,
Jimmy Gopperth.
of course.
He's a Kiwi, I suppose, but he's kind of British.
Yeah,
George
we know him.
North, George, but he didn't play in the game the other day. I think he pulled out just in the warm up, which is a shame. Tamara Harrison's there at Provence. They got a very good squad. A couple of Brits involved. Obviously, with us, Ross Moriarty's injured at the moment. Courts should be fit though. So
there was another article I was reading earlier about Courts and his Lions prospects. Bit of a sleeper.
I might outright ask him, but he probably doesn't know. When's the announcement?
May the 8th.
May the 8th. Still a while, isn't there? So we'll see. We'll see. Who's his direct competition?
I think there's a lot of second rows that can slot in at 6, but if you wanted an out-and-out, line-out 6, I don't think there is. I genuinely don't think there is anyone who does that specific job.
Who gives you ball stealing, or not quite Jack Willis-esque, but not far off as well.
Yeah.
It gives you that factor. Yeah.
Yeah. So you would have said Ty Burn probably, but
Ty Burn's probably the one that comes to mind. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. So yeah, another reason to watch how Courts goes on Friday night. And Joe, all the best there, Joe, and we'll catch up on the other side.